Hey guys, how's it going, Companion? Today I want to talk about Tavern Brawl as a whole and really how successful it's been for Blizzard and for the players and just how well it's been going, really. Because, this is the fifth Tavern Brawl. It's basically been out for about a month, and we kind of get the idea. Early on, when it comes to just such a crazy format like this, it's kind of difficult to really interpret what Blizzard, tells us about it. And you really have to go through a few cycles and really understand their goals and the level of execution that they have for this type of idea. So now that we have decent amount of that, how is it? How's it going? So, what is Tavern Brawl? Tavern Brawl is a way to play the game that is basically like a super casual fun mode. It's not results oriented because the reward system is basically non existent, and that kind of sucks, but it is unique in that sense. Some people actually appreciate the fact that, nobody's really trying very hard, nobody's ego is really on the line. It's just in the name of fun, and really there are no tangible rewards whatsoever. And it's a very different type of gameplay. So every week for I think it's like 4.5 days out of 7, we get to play a new type of way to play Hearthstone. Different decks, completely different cards, different heroes, different rule sets, whatever. Just something is different, and the difference kind of makes it interesting. And I think it really appeals to like the fairly new players, especially because if you do one win brawl every week, you get the pack. And getting that little bit of reward just for participating, it just feels good. So I like that aspect of it a lot. So what are the brawls that we had? Well, week 1 we opened with the Ragnaros versus Nefarian brawl. Overall, the brawls in general have had about the same opinion for me as they have for most people, so I can kind of relay that. In general, this one was very well liked. In fact, some people liked it the most. People have differences of opinion, but I think this one was overall pretty highly regarded. I thought it was a bit lame, but probably that's because my expectations were so high. And at the end of the Ragnaros versus Nefarian Tavern Brawl, I actually wanted to play more. So I was really just over expecting, I suppose, but it was truly a very interesting week. The week after that, it was the Banana Brawl, and that was basically a piece of crap because you would just play basically the annoying decks you wouldn't want to play in ladder anyway, and the experience would be the same. So it was not really a good Tavern Brawl because it was as if you were replaying an experience that you could already play in the game, and it wasn't a great one. The third week we had the web spinners. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was quite strategic and very interesting. Some people didn't really like it, but I think above average amount of people thought it was pretty interesting, pretty cool. And then we had the best one yet by far, the Summoner Brawl. Whenever you cast a creature, or whenever you cast a spell, you get a creature of that same mana cost put in play at random. And that made some super crazy, super wild moments, and it was just overall a pleasure to play, and I played that, a hell of a lot. And more recently, we have the totally random Tavern Brawl, where you just have 15 random class cards and 15 random neutral cards, and that experience is kind of closer to Arena. Most of the feedback on this one has been negative as well. I kind of like it, but I think out of all the brawls, I disagree with the public the most on this one, but it's understandable because I really like the varied aspect of the game. I would already just play by myself for fun against friends, the random cards auto pick system and just auto deck and just play my friends for fun. I would enjoy that as is, and that's basically the experience that it is. It's also pretty close to Arena. I understand why people don't like it in general because some people don't like Arena, and this Tavern Brawl mimics that aspect of the game quite accurately, in fact. and if they don't like that aspect of the game, they're not going to like this week's Tavern Brawl. So for some people, it's going to get as negative a reaction as the Banana Brawl had, and that's understandable. So from this list of brawls, we kind of see a few things that are pretty interesting, that you kind of see what Blizzard is doing here. So the Rag versus Neff, it was completely pre-constructed. Bananas, you make the deck. Then Web Spinners, completely pre-constructed. And Summoner, you make the deck. And then Totally Random, completely pre-constructed. So it seems like it's an alternating system. 1 week, we're going to have a type of Tavern Brawl that the deck is completely set out for you. You don't need a single card on your account to fully enjoy the depth of the game. And the week after that, well, you need some cards to really have, the maximum amount of fun. And I think this system is very good. It's a very good compromise where it introduces new players and players who don't have much into the Tavern Brawl system, which is very cool. It's a very pleasant one. It's a very enjoyable one. And on the other end, it kind of provides the business model that Blizzard needs to basically create content. So, what do I mean by that? Well, the Tavern Brawl system originally, I thought, was indirectly supposed to sell packs because, for the every other week where you would need cards, usually you'd need very obscure cards. So you would if you really enjoy that, you'd be incentivized to purchase more packs to get a higher variety of cards. On the other end, people who kind of enjoyed Tavern Brawl on a casual basis, they would be more likely to not disenchant the garbage cards they get from their packs because, well, you might use them in Tavern Brawl, who knows, right? And because you're not disenchanting cards that you otherwise would, to get your goal of getting this deck or that deck or this card or this set of cards, you essentially need to buy more packs to accomplish it. So Blizzard indirectly ends up selling more packs. How many more? I don't know, but I hope it's enough for this system to keep going on a, constant, high-quality basis. So far, it's been pretty good. Really, the brawls that have been really good are the ones that, again, follow the rules that they kind of set out. They set out to create a game mode that is very different from the existing game. And this is very similarly when I create like a Challenge Stone challenge. My first goal is to completely abolish every single constructed deck that ever was, so people are forced into new ones to have a new competitive experience. And in this sense, they basically need to do that. And I really hope they realize this, that recreating a part of the game that already exists in the Banana Brawl that was basically zoo constructed with no rewards, or this week's, which is basically mediocre arena runs with no rewards, people are not going to like that. So the bad brawls have been ones that haven't really changed an aspect that already exists in Hearthstone. My take on this, I really like Tavern Brawl. Every Wednesday is basically all day brawl for me. On some Wednesdays I have a lot more fun than others, but overall I'm pretty hooked on the system. I'm pretty hooked on Hearthstone as a whole, as you guys could probably tell already. It's just that my expectations were really high at the start. They were realized when we saw like the Summoner Brawl, some amazing stuff is really possible, but I thought they had a really bad start. I think most people who play video games these days are very impressionable, so if they try something that was just released for the first time and it sucks, it's actually pretty unlikely they're going to try it again. Now, this is a little bit different for Hearthstone players because Hearthstone is marketed towards a different type of audience, but still, that was at the back of my mind, so if it was there for me, I'm sure it directly impacted other people's enjoyment towards the game, where, they just expected more, didn't get it, because, the Rag versus Neff Brawl was pretty good, but then the Banana ones was terrible, and the Web Spinner one didn't really get that great of a reaction from most people. So at that point, like 2 or 3 weeks in, I think a lot of people just yeah, man, Tavern Brawl sucks. I don't play this anymore. So I think it was a bad start, and I think a bad start is a pretty big problem for a new feature in a Blizzard game. So I think that was a little bit of a slip up, but I guess it's kind of hard to judge these things. Overall, I think it's great. I hope they keep going. They did mention that the Tavern Brawl system will be one that might recycle previous brawls, and this aspect is probably the most important one when it comes to the success in the future of the Tavern Brawl system, because if they don't adequately take feedback, they're going to recycle the bad brawls, or they're just going to keep making bad brawls. And again, bad brawls are ones that don't actually change the game. So it's pretty obvious to me what the brawls are that really suck. So, if they realize that, and the ones that they reissue and the ones that they create from this point on are really good, and they put a real effort towards that idea, I feel in time, maybe not weeks, maybe months, maybe a year, you'd have a system where every single week the Tavern Brawl might be the absolute highlight of the week for people playing the game. And I think reaching that point is a very good one. But before we get there, we also have to fix a few things like the queue system, maybe some matchmaking system, maybe some rewards. Maybe people would like to have more than one deck slot for Tavern Brawl. That might be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? Well, hopefully these things kind of happen over time, and I hope things just go pretty well overall, because I want to experience more of the really good Tavern Brawl system. So that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed my review, and I'll leave you guys off today with one of the more fun games in Tavern Brawl I had this week. This week was the totally random brawl, 15 random class cards, 15 random neutral cards, and just to show you guys that even the brawls that some people, or most people in some cases, really don't enjoy much, can have some really crazy, some really cool moments. So enjoy the game. Hope you guys enjoy my opinion, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's what I'm talking about. We can work with this. We have 2 true silvers. We have a seal light. I guess that's fine. Cairn. All right, this is a high quality deck. Never stream for long periods of time anymore. Well, I've been streaming for 4 hours, and I did 7 hours of Hearthstone casting and prep earlier, and then I spent like about 2 hours trying to make a Hearthstone YouTube video. So we're about 13 hours of Hearthstone today. I don't know, man. That and not sleeping much because I had to get up for the tournament about 3 hours earlier than I normally want to wake up. Yeah, I mean, I play a lot of Hearthstone. I do a lot of stuff. Lost ink. Oh, we'll see. I have a good deck. It's just a bit slow. Wow, if he's actually wrathing for 1, it means I'm in serious trouble. What? I've only drawn 6 mana creatures so far. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do against those. Like, they're good cards, but they're not useful. That would have been better last turn. Yeah, I'll just save up the weapon and hope I don't get oozed, I guess. It's really unlikely I get oozed. What did I get? Cog Hammer. At least he got Light's Justice. I was about to concede there. I felt that was a Harrison. Yeah, I guess there's Harrison, Ooze, and Blingtron that counter. Whatever. Sabotage? Well, not from a druid. The pirate one wouldn't have been that bad. He needed 2 pirate ones. But okay, I guess double tread is trot. I don't fucking know what it is. Okay. Sometimes lucky, I guess. I kind of want a bigger presence on the board, so I want to play Toshli here. He must have some crazy fucking cards, because he's playing some real shitters right now. Slash nothing in the early game. Yeah, there it is.
justice.
I'm going for it here, because if I don't, he might get like a return or a flip, which can be pretty problematic. I feel like every creature I have is legendary so far. No, I had the Murloc, I had the 2/3, that's right. Not quite. Not quite all of them. Another Ancient Allure. That sucks. I'm just gonna go here. I just get destroyed by Kodo and maybe Poison Seeds. Another legendary creature, that's true. More legendaries. Only legendary. Almost only legendary, yeah. Flaring Betrayal. You know it. Wisp. Okay. Okay.
Time waits for no one.
Okay. Oh my god. What is this deck? It's only legendaries. All the bad luck from the last like 6 games are like stacked in this one. I've trained for this. Claw. I guess he's gonna wrath that or something. I don't know. Savagery. Shit just happened, dude. This guy's deck is fucking terrible.
Get behind me.
For honor. Put your faith in the light.
Yeah, I'm not playing a dude. Oh, Junkbot. That's not a legendary. Another Wrath. Epic, put that shit back. Junkbot doesn't deserve to be epic.
I am the blade of the gods.
Don't test me.
More legendaries. Tauren's boys. This is the Tauren deck. God damn it.
Well met.
Only legendaries.
What does the future hold?
Nice. Well met, boys.
Nature will rise against you.
You have Poison Seeds. Healing Touch. Bolvar animation changes based on how many souls were previously.
Time waits for no one. Test me, child. You will pay. This
Blessed Champion is pretty good, guys. Pretty good. Oh god.
handle it.
Whoa, sick. Oh my god, no other legendary.
You will pay.
Really, really fair game there.